Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Wednesday, November the 18th. Yeah, quite an easy one actually, because 1 week ago we were Armistice Day. So obviously today we are 7 days later, so we are the 18th. We are in 2015 and yeah, I gotta say that, so 5 days ago, no, let's say 3 or 4 days ago, it was during the weekend, I saw a tweet of someone who was kind of pissed by what happened on Facebook, on Facebook, because of the attacks in Paris. They offered to put a blue, white, red filter on your profile picture, which I felt was, well, pretty good, though it was, kind of, well, double standards, because the day before the attacks in Paris, there were attacks in Beirut, and probably by the same group, who are now pretty much, on Saturday I said that it was not sure that it was the Islamic State. Now it's pretty much, it's not pretty much confirmed, it's confirmed. This morning in Saint Denis there was an assault on the guy who coordinated the attacks in Paris. I don't know how that ended, just know that I was still awake and that just moments before I had learned about the death of Jonah Lomu, who was arguably one of the best rugby players of all time. So rest in peace, big man. I don't know. Maybe it's too early to say it, but if we look only at the All Blacks, I think that Julian Sevilla feels the job pretty well now. He's the next John Olomu, and he's already scored more tries than John Olomu ever did. So yeah, but let's not forget that, wow, John Olomu, he was such a strong guy, and it was so weird because it were at the time that was first years of professional rugby. So you can feel that, yeah, it was. You didn't. New Zealand. Most players in New Zealand come from high schools, from private high schools, where they already played at quite a high level, and their championship is one of the best championships in the world. Doesn't offer that huge of a pay, but it's enough to keep players from to keep too many players from leaving the country. It's a big deal when you see a New Zealander coming to play in Europe. That's some big stuff. So yeah, John Olomu, he will be missed. I don't know what's the cause of his death, but he was really young. He was like 40, and to think he retired like probably 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less. It's really weird, So yeah, something I saw on Saturday that I thought maybe it's too early to say that was that, well, on Facebook you could put the filter with the French flag and you could set it as a temporary profile picture, and that's so you could put it for 1 day, for 3 days, for 5 days, for a week. I think it was. I personally didn't put a flag filter on my picture because I know that at some point I'm gonna change again. I already done that. I've already done that with the rainbow flag filter in during the holidays, the summer holidays to celebrate the fact that gay and lesbian people could now get married in the USA. And you don't really know when it's okay to change it back. And I think that while Facebook gives you the option to change it back for you, it's the really the you just leave all responsibility to the changing of the picture to Facebook, basically. And that person said that they should do a term, a word, which was like slacktivist, but there it would be slackidarity, slacking in solidarity. And while I felt that it was maybe too early to say that, I've seen so many people using the temporary feature that I suddenly felt, and most of my, if not all, my friends on Facebook are French people, so it affects them pretty damn directly. And that's why I don't understand why you put a temporary picture. I mean, if you were American or English, I would get it. You're not the ones who have been attacked Friday night. So yeah, at a moment, well, you just go back to business as usual. Here, I see that I've seen some people doing that. I won't say that most people would have done that, but some people have done that, and I feel that that's kind of an asshole move. Now I mean, it's totally okay to put that filter. I mean, or to not put that filter. I mean, I feel really touched by the events and the sudden burst in solidarity from all over the world. Even though I personally haven't been affected by this, though I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I don't know the names of the people who have been killed. Maybe I knew one of them, or maybe there was a friend of a friend who got killed there, and I don't know it. I mean, that would suck, obviously. So yeah, but I mean, you should at least take some responsibility in changing back your picture yourself. Maybe they did that because, well, I have no copy of that picture. Except that's not really an excuse, since Facebook, unlike Twitter, allows you to take a picture from all the pictures you've uploaded. So since you've uploaded your profile picture that you changed afterwards, you should still be able to change it back using the albums. So yeah, there's that. What else can I talk about, really? I mean, we're still in a state of emergency. I think it's gonna be 3 months long. I heard some bad stuff, like the Congress wanted, because we have a system which is the Congress, but it's not really officially the Congress. We have 2 chambers in France, in the Parliament. There's the Assemblée Nationale and there's the Sénat. And one of is the higher chamber, and the other one is the lower chamber. And for exceptional measures, they both merge temporarily and to form a Congress, who has its meetings in the Versailles Palace. During the Third Republic, it was the third and the fourth, and I mean probably the second too. It was where they elected the president, because the people didn't elect the president; they elected deputies, members of parliament, who then elected um, the president. So there was that. But yeah, I heard that they wanted to do some changes, some amendments to the constitution, and that's not really cool because I mean that sounds a lot like, hey, we're going to do a French Patriot Act, and nah, nah. I mean, we can live with that. I mean, the U.S. might have been able to live without it for all the years it was active. I think it's still active in some sort of way. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to talk out of my ass. But yeah, I mean, yeah, no, no. I mean, you've already passed a law to be able to look inside our phones and all that. And I mean, oh, right, you said that it was the fault of encryption. Experts have said, yeah, it's because of encryption. Files are encrypted by the commercial entities who don't even create the key to decrypt the files. So that might be why the terrorists have been able to talk with their buddies. I mean, let's not go all out on stuff. You know, the investigation is still going. There's no use to go, it's all about encryption. We gotta ban encryption. No, fuck off. Encryption is something that's really important because if you ban encryption for everything but the Secret Service or the task forces, it sounds like yeah, you're hiding stuff from us, and we have no privacy anymore, and we should trust you blindly, which I'm not sure I want to trust my government blindly. They've been in some shady shit. On the other end, there's something that the previous president and his government fucked up here. They dissolved the renseignements généraux, which was pretty much the CIA or the NSA. They were able, I mean, there were a service that was part somehow, in some sort of manner. I'm not really sure of what I'm saying right now. Kind of talking, kind of pulling stuff out of a magic hat. I think they were linked to the police in some sort of way. And they were dissolved by the previous president, and that was pretty shit, you know. I mean, we still have the DGSE, which is more like the CIA, but okay. Well, they're gonna have to do with that, huh? Yeah. Yesterday, what did I do after I... Yeah, that was the football match. We lost 2-0. And then I watched... I already watched like 2 hours. But then I finished watching the whole of Jack's films Your Grammar Sucks series, because he put a video with all the videos with only the comments and not his plugs that would at some points take up half of the length of the video. That was pretty dumb. And I realized that YGS99, I knew that some comments, I mean, it was a musical episode, so some comments he used them since the very first musical episode, which was, I think, YGS 5. We like there's never nothing. But I realized that he used comments from not from every, but from a lot of old Your Grammar Sucks episodes. And you cannot, and I think you might only be able to realize that when you marathon it at the time, or when you watch a video with the whole thing. And in um, one of the first videos, there's a lot of Homestuck. Suddenly, I realized, like one of the first, there was at one point, I don't know if it was his profile picture or his cover picture, but it was Touch That Brody Dirk Unf Goo, which obviously is a reference to Dirk Strider, who might have wanted to touch Jake's booty. Ugu. The Ugu gives it away. Because it's a staple in moe anime. I think I don't think it's really a staple, but I do remember that the character in Clanad, the one, says Ugu. But there was in one of the earlier even episodes, there was a role player, a Gamzee role player that Jack didn't even want to go to the end of the reading, who said that he made Terezi drink Fago, and that was years before we learned that on the Meteor, well, Gamzee made Terezi drink Fago, and that fucked her up. And I suddenly my brain was full of fuck, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What else? Yeah, I could talk about how living in southern France is kind of a blessing and at the same time kind of a curse, because thanks to that, and I don't know if maybe that could have happened if I lived in Brittany or in the north or in Alsace or maybe in I've pretty much said everything that was in the south. In Paris, maybe? Paris is some kind of gray zone because all the people from all over the country went to Paris at one point or another of the history of the country. So it's really hard to say that, hey, there's a really Paris people, huh? Their only characteristic is that they're huge assholes, and that we should stand with them because hard time. But they're also huge assholes, and that won't change. I stand with them. I say we're all Paris today, but I don't want to be Paris when they're not touched by attacks because fuck them. When they're touched by attacks, I think we should all put that aside. But usually, nah. And that especially since I'm from Marseille, who really crystallizes the every aspect of the province, as they say. So yeah, I say that it's kind of a blessing and a curse because I always have been surrounded by really pretty girls and now pretty women, and for someone like me who is from the get-go not good with girls and being overweight and not really being willing to do some efforts, or what I wear or just how I look on a general standpoint, it makes it hard because, well, I cannot talk to her because, well, I'm gonna get rejected big time, and yeah, that's kind of shitty. But you gotta learn to deal with that. It was really strange because sometimes I don't believe that there's a force driving life. I'm a bit nihilistic there. Life has no inherent value. You gotta realize that. And I remember that one day in the train, where usually in the train I'm kind of sleepy, but at that moment I really wasn't able to sleep for some reason. And there was this girl who was really, really looking fine. Ooh, and she slept on my shoulder, and I was like, well, that's one of the most uncomfortable moments of my life. My heart is probably going to burst out of my chest at one point, and the train arrived at the station I was supposed to alight. And my mother and my sister saw that, and they thought that I somehow struck the big deal. No, didn't happen. She could have slept on the fucking window. That's what I do because I don't want to, make people uncomfortable. No, she slept on my shoulder, and that was how I was feeling bad. It's kind of always like that when I take the train. I always somehow I'm close to a dude who doesn't give a single fuck about personal space. Like the other week, I was with that guy who smelled like Gauloise cigarettes. I don't know if it was Gauloise or Gitanes, but oh, that was one stinky man. And he alighted at the same station as me, so I never got free from that. But the other day, when I was going back to Montpellier, I think it was 2 days ago, there was this really, really nice girl close to me. I mean, I was putting my suitcase in one of the compartments to where you put your stuff, and she passed right behind me. She rubbed my butt, and I felt, goosebumps all over my back. And I was like, well, that's gonna be awkward if she sits next to me. And she sat next to me, and it was probably one of the most awkward things ever because playing a lot of video games, I cannot have my eyes focused on one thing that would be out of focus from where I could leave everything else out of focus. I have to have my eyes looking pretty much everywhere. And I mean, at one point I was afraid that we would cross, that our eyes would look into each other, and I was like, well, if that happens, that's going to be bad, because obviously I am not at my best right now. So yeah, kind of a blessing and a curse. It's either I'm set up to win big, or I'm set up to fail. If there was a force driving our lives, either it sets me up to win, like, fuck you, do something, like that 4-panel thing where there's the dude, he looks at the cat, do the thing, you fucking, and there's the F word, not the fuck, but the other, the ones that say homophobic slur, but we say it a lot on 4chan. And the cat is looking at that. I feel like if there was a god or some force like that, would push me towards really beautiful girls and would say, no, fuck off, mate. Fuck off, mate was exactly what I thought when this dude in the tramway, when I was alighting, he wouldn't step away from the middle of the passage, of the way out, because he decided, well, three people went out, I might as well go in. No, fuck off, I'm not out. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. 25 minutes, closing in on 25 minutes. See you tomorrow, where I probably will have nothing to talk about. Maybe NXT, probably. Bye bye. I seriously need to go back to a healthier sleep schedule, because I have a class on Friday morning and I cannot skip it.